Good evening. My name is Susie Murphy, and I am your students' adventure education teacher for this semester. At North Campus, the students were offered an opportunity in August online to select one of three courses. Just so you're aware, juniors and seniors do get to make a new selection in January, so this will be a semester-long course. I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. As I mentioned, my name is Susie Murphy. I'm a proud alumni of LT, my whole family through the years. This is my 23rd year as a teacher at Lyons Township. This past year, I've taken on the role of the Assistant Division Chair for the Physical Welfare Division. And in addition, I teach adventure ed, rock climbing is a part of that, along with exercise physiology and our scuba diving course. My husband and I have two daughters. Tegan is entering 7th grade and Logan is entering 5th grade, so they are also going through the same remote struggles as the rest of us. In case you're wondering, we love all things Cubs, Blackhawks, and Disney. As an adventure ed teacher, I think you'll note that I absolutely adore adventure activities, and you can see us whitewater rafting on the bottom of the screen there. The physical education core activities is the same no matter what activities your students chose. There will be a fitness component in all of them, and we are going to have Unit 1 focus on cardiovascular endurance. We'll be moving on into strength and flexibility during Units 2 and 3. For the entire semester, we are going to focus our social emotional efforts on mindfulness and team building. We've already tried to take some steps to help students get some coping skills, stress reduction, and mental releases as well. And as I'm sure you can imagine, all of our curriculum, no matter the class you take, follows the Illinois state standards for physical education and health. Because your student chose adventure education, their activities tracks will include kayaking, team building and rope skills, and climbing skills. We are starting with kayaking right now. We've already introduced the parts of the boat. We're going to move into safety along with wet exits and rescues, and ultimately get to paddling and some games. Realizing this unit will end around September 30th, and whether we are back in school or not, when we do return, we will give the kids a chance to get into the pool to give kayaking a shot. We actually have a lot of fun at that unit, and I don't want to just pass it by because we've been away. Then we'll move on to team building, where we work on cooperation, communication, trust, and we're doing a lot right now to develop those three major skills. And then we'll work on knot tying and belaying. Again, all skills we can teach remotely. When we get back, then we will clean up our belay skills, and we will move to actually climbing, where we will use Prusik knots to climb a rope and mechanical ascenders to climb. We'll also do some rappelling, and we'll do some wall climbing. In a moment when we wrap up, I'm going to invite you to stay on for about a 4-minute tour of our facilities where you'll actually get to see one of our teachers in action. In terms of remote learning and how your students navigate, we are using Canvas like everyone else. They would go into their physical education course and choose the week we are on. And then you can see we do have a daily schedule. Anything you see in blue here was an active link. So this week, for instance, on Monday, we were doing an assessment to find out their knowledge of heart rate monitors and cardiovascular fitness. Tuesday, we actually started class to talk about cardiovascular fitness, and then we took a 30-minute break to go do our physical activity. That's going to be an important component while we're spending so many hours at a screen. Today, they were watching an Edpuzzle, which is had some video based on kayaking in an Alaskan river. And then tomorrow in class live, we will start talking about some of our safety components that we do in terms of entries, exits, and how to hold a paddle. Friday, we're going to add in a little bit of mindfulness. And I just thought it was good to give you an overview of the week to kind of see there's a lot of things we're putting in there, and that there's actually some amazing things we can do even in a remote setting, which is not ideal for any of us. In terms of grading, Infinite Campus is still the official grade book of the district. When students turn in an assignment on Canvas, I will comment or give points towards that. But Infinite Campus this year, you'll notice 4 different objectives. The first objective addresses their skill demonstrations. Can they assess how to correctly hold a paddle? Can they assess how to correctly do a wet exit? And that will be scored on a rubric. The second objective is their written tests, and that will be points-based, both in fitness and activities. The third objective is the actual physical workouts. In each unit, we will be doing anywhere from 6 to 8 workouts. And then the students have a short reflection to fill out after that. And lastly, a small portion of our grade is the objective 4, which is going to be sportsmanship, cooperation, are they participating in our SEL activities, etc. What I'd like to do now is give you a brief tour of our facilities. And again, as I mentioned, you can see one of our teachers in action. So if you give me one moment. What you're going to see here is Kathy Beyer and Joe Conway, 2 other teachers in our adventure curriculum, giving you a brief tour and some ideas of what your students will do.
For our students. I'm going to take you over to the wall right now. We have a 6-station top rope climbing wall here. 4 of our ropes are in front. We have the mats up when they're not in use, so you can see that there's some mats here. And the ropes go up to the ceiling and wrap around a belay bar. The 4 walls in front have a belay bar so it can help a little bit with control for our climbers. We will always teach about the ropes and the walls and also the skills that students need, belaying skills and so forth. So after we've covered some team building and gotten to know each other, we will work on learning some knots. Students will practice on retired ropes such as this to learn how to tie knots. This particular knot is a square knot, which is one of the ones that the students will learn. Some of the most important knots for them that they use every day are the figure 8 and the fisherman's knot as a backup. These are the knots that the students will use to tie in every single time that they either climb or belay. So we spend a lot of time making sure that these are automatic skills that the students learn. From there, they'll be using our helmets and harnesses when they do choose to climb. Students will work on learning belay skills and learning how to use our safety equipment, which again is also provided and thoroughly taught before the students are allowed to leave the ground.
Hello, I'm Joe Conway, one of the PE teachers here at Lyons Township High School North Campus, and I'm coming to you from the rappelling wall here at our North Campus field house. And right now I'm tied in like all rappellers are. My belayer is tied in with a figure 8 back there by a fisherman. And I'm going to demonstrate a rappel for you real quick, which is what the students will be doing after they complete the wall and some of the essentials. So I take this rappel rope and I take my ATC and put the bite, I put a bite in the rope, I put it at the small end of the ATC. I put the rope and the cable through my locking carabiner, my auto locking carabiner. These are all terms that are, we will teach the adventure education students. Now this rappel rope that's tied to the ceiling, I'm going to pull all the slack out of it. I'm going to put it around my backside. I'm going to double check that I'm locked, and then I'm going to say my commands. My commands would be rappelling.
Rappel on.
And my belayer says rappel on. At this point, I've double checked with my instructor, and I'm ready to rappel. So I'm going to turn around and simply lean back. This control hand, when it goes lower than my gluteus maximus, I start lowering down. When I can stop myself whenever I want, and I go all the way down until I hit my backside. And that is a short rappel here at Lyons Township High School. That's what we start with. We eventually go all the way up to the platforms, and they can choose whichever platform they want to go to. Once again, that is the introductory rappel, which we do towards the end of the unit. This is the last month. All right, so that is our rappelling stations. In addition, if you can see the high ropes course, which we get to sometimes in Adventure 1 and is required in Adventure 2. It is a 6-platform high ropes course, and you do this in tandem with another individual. We have 6 platforms up there with many different elements, 8 different elements, and 6 different access points.
We are now in the North Campus pool. We just wanted to give you an idea of what the pool looks like and where, when we are in person for kayaking instruction, your student new skills in terms of keeping safe and also being able to handle a kayak. One of the things that I love the most about Adventure Ed as a whole is that a lot of times students are doing so much learning and growth in the semester. They're learning about themselves, they're challenging themselves in ways they never thought possible before, and they're learning to communicate with their classmates. All valuable life skills. Thanks for listening. I hope your student has a great semester.
Just to close with, I hope you enjoyed our tour. It's a lot more exciting to be at open house and see our facilities and see what we get to do. So we hope we gave you a little piece of that when Kathy and Joe stepped around our facilities. If you need anything, please reach out. My name is Susie Murphy. It's smurphy@lths.net. Really looking forward to getting to know your students. Can't wait to meet them in person, and just wish them the best of luck as we go through this new endeavor in life. Thank you so much.